our basic philosophy is this: for every problem, there's a solution. And we were really pleased that Holden Partners did a report last year about ethical funds and climate change funds, and said that people want to see solution providers in their funds, and we came out top, I think, with 51% of our investments by their measure as being solutions to climate change. Now, we have social themes in our fund as well, so I think the other 49% would be solutions to social issues. So as we see it, 100%, every single investment is providing a solution to a social or environmental challenge. So what is the problem? Well, this is the problem here. There's just one of those worlds, and this is the last one. These are the various issues that we're facing. Here are the themes that we have, 5 environmental themes which are very much linked into climate change that we've been talking about tonight. Things like cleaner energy, efficiency, environmental services, sustainable transport, and water management. What we also have in our fund, and it differentiates us from many of the other funds in this area, is this whole area of social solutions as well. And health is there as a big issue, as an education, ever-increasing demand for that, a knowledge-based economy, quality of life, safety, social property and finance. And so a wide range, it adds a real diversity into the fund. We're not just stuck in certain clean tech type of companies, a real diversity of being able to invest in other areas as well, and each of them growth areas, each of them with very strong growth drivers, be it climate change, be it regulatory, be it demographic, and we're investing in companies providing solutions to these 10 challenges. Some analysis that we've had done is on the stimulus spend that you've heard of, that various governments all around the world are doing, and we came up with this massive figure. I wanted to put all the noughts in there of, it's actually $1.18 trillion, and the pie chart there shows the split. So a big recognition by governments that they want to, in order to stimulate the economy, they want to spend that money on social and environmental solutions. I wanted to just illustrate for you 2 or 3 of the themes and illustrate for you some of the kind of companies that we own that fit into those themes as well. This one is environmental services and very much linked into climate change, and it's about things like treating waste and recycling and those kind of things. And the market here is growing and has grown and is projected to grow at quite a rapid rate over the next several years. Okay. And so just to give you an example of some of the companies that we've got, Arcadis is an environmental consulting company. They do things like consulting on how to clean up dirty waste or pollution and things in areas, as well as consulting on how to reduce your emissions and those kind of things. And this company is really well placed to benefit from the stimulus spending that I've mentioned, and is seeing ever-increasing growth from regulation and environmental regulators saying you need to do a better job to companies and saying you need to clean up your acts and so on. And they will come in and say this is how you do it. China Everbright then is a Chinese company providing environmental consultancy service, but also they do some recycling of water and treatment of waste as well. And the government in China is very much onto this as an issue. They want to sort out waste. They recognize the environmental problems. They recognize they can't just let people grow without controlling their emissions and so on. And so China Everbright is well placed to benefit from that. And then Plant Healthcare is a very different kind of company in the UK. Just to show, we do have some UK companies. Somebody asked that question. This company is developing organic and environmentally friendly plant healthcare products that accelerate and encourage plant growth. They've got a very good technology. And then another environmental theme is sustainable transport. Did you know that transport is the 3rd largest source of emissions in the world and the fastest growing source of emissions in the world? And governments and others are recognizing that, and there's also added costs of congestion and accidents and all of the noise pollution and other that come from that. And so the kind of companies that we invest in that, we call it choo-choo, it's actually zhu-zhu. But they do trains, they do parts, key electric parts for locomotives in China. The Chinese government is looking to expand their locomotives very aggressively over the next 5 years in their 5-year plan, and Suzuki will be very well placed to benefit from that. And then Shimano, you probably all know, the brand of bicycle parts, very well established, very high market share brand. And again, governments are wanting to incentivize bicycle travel. You can get tax breaks on buying a bicycle to sell to work in this country. In France, they've got all those bicycles. In Paris, they've all got Shimano parts on them. And we see that as another part of a solution to sustainable transport. And then Polycom is perhaps a little less obvious, but video conferencing clearly saves air travel and saves emissions. And in fact, even in the market downturn, there's been a lot of growth in video conferencing solutions. While companies are cutting spending on other things, they're increasing spending on this because they can see it as a cost saver. You only need a few transatlantic flights to pay for the cost of one telepresence or teleconferencing system. But also it saves emissions and cuts their carbon footprints, and companies are increasingly keen to demonstrate that they're doing that and show that as well. I also wanted to talk about how we analyze companies and engage with companies about what they're doing and how they do it. Suntech Power last year had a very high-profile article in the Washington Post. Suntech Power is a manufacturer of solar cells, one of the top 3 solar cell manufacturers in the world, very high-profile company, very well known and often owned by climate change related funds. This profile article in the Washington Post was saying that a supplier to them, a supplier of polysilicon, was polluting the local environment by dumping toxic waste, and that was affecting the local people as well as the environment. They had full color pictures like this one. We immediately got in touch with the company and wrote to them and contacted them, had several meetings with them. And we said, well, I think that the way you should respond to this is by auditing your suppliers, by requiring them to sign that they're not going to do this, by making sure that you're checking this and so on. And we gave them a number of suggestions of actual practices that they should put in place in order to prevent this happening again. And finally, towards the end of the year, they came back to us and said, okay, we're going to agree to do nearly all that you suggested that we will do, and thank you very much for your suggestions. You are the only people who actually engage with us. But we're not just about a social return, we're about a financial return as well, and we're very pleased with our returns. It's a 3-year rolling chart, and we're 12% ahead of the MSCI World over that time. That's first quartile against other global growth funds, whether they're ethical or not, whether they're climate change interested or not. We're ahead of the pack, and we intend to stay there, and we expect that we can keep staying there. So to conclude, I just wanted to highlight a few bullets. Sustainability challenges are big, but they are also providing investment opportunities for those who are able to take a longer term view and assess them and think about what companies are providing solutions to them, which is what we're doing in Industries of the Future. Every investment is providing a solution to a sustainability challenge of some kind. We have both social and environmental themes. Climate change isn't the only issue facing the world. There are other issues as well, and we're investing across that range, adding that diversity. We have a track record of strong performance, and finally, it pays to invest in solution providers. Thank you very much.